over to you now for a look at a very serious and troubling topic.
It is, Gwen, it is. And we're going to try and see if we can give some advice to you, those of you watching us now. As Americans continue to live longer, they require people to check in and care for them. And according to the National Incidence Study of Elder Abuse, some 450,000 elderly get abused nationwide. And those are startling statistics when you think of the number of people you might know caring for a loved one. Here with some signs on how you should be aware of and how to protect the elderly, perhaps a loved one, is Dr. Marion. She is a geriatric care manager and author of Eldercare, Made Easier. Dr. Marion's 10 steps to help you care for an aging loved one. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's talk about this. This is so amazing when you think about it. We're really the generation of kind of baby boomers is about to get older, and soon everyone will start to know of someone at least entering or about to perhaps considering entering into some type of managed care.
When you're dealing with an older person, you really have to watch out for them and care for them on a regular basis. There are all kinds of frauds out there right now that we have to be careful of.
How do you know the various types of, how do you first of all, how do you look to make sure, as I was someone who had recently had two parents in some type of elder care, how do you know to find the right type of care for them?
You ask your friends, you make sure that you're dealing with agencies that are appropriate, and if you're hiring an aide, you make sure that they have an educational background that deals with that particular problem that you might be needing for your elderly clients or your parents.
Right. I know that we hate to think about this, but what are the signs of abuse when we think about looking at the elderly? Are there telltale signs that you should know that, you know, something's not going on, something's not right here?
Yeah, there are definite signs, especially if you're a long-distance caregiver. Need to watch your parents, listen to what they say on the phone if you're dealing with them on the phone. If their voice changes or lowers when somebody's in the room, are there physical signs?
Are they getting weak? Are they looking frail or something like that?
Are they losing weight? Is there any changes as an indication that something's amiss?
What are the typical signs of abuse that the elderly can go through? I mean, what do they range from? Is it just physical abuse? Is it mental abuse?
No, it's physical, mental, emotional. You have, what we have that we're dealing with right now is financial abuse, and we're dealing with people who are falling in love. We're calling it sweetheart abuse. Sweetheart abuse. Yes, yes.
Preying on a lonely heart or a broken heart.
Well, they're lonely, they're isolated, they very often don't have a family support, and when they don't have a family support, they're very vulnerable.
How do we then find the right type of care? I mean, I remember going from different care facilities and different care facilities trying to find a perfect one for my father. What is the best one? Give some of our viewers some advice on how they find someone or the right type of establishment.
Well, you go to an agency that is accredited. If you have any questions, you might want to call the Better Business Bureau. If it's a doctor that you have some questions about, there's the American Society on the medical profession. All agencies have some sort of check system.
You also look at state agencies, don't you? You would call the Attorney General, you call the Better Business Bureau, and look to see if they have a specific agency for elderly care, right?
Right. Every agency, whether it's a doctor or a lawyer, has an agency that's an overseer, and that overseer keeps very accurate records as to if anybody's had a problem or a lawsuit against them.
What do you do if you find out, if you can determine from what you're telling and what the people, if they read your book, that there are signs of abuse? What is the next step then?
Then you report it. You report it to the district attorney's office, an elder agency, your local police if you have no other alternative. But you reach out immediately. You're dealing with isolated people, vulnerable people, and they need the support. Friends, neighbors, relatives, but they need the support. And they're very often an older person who is dealing with an issue and they don't know how to deal with it. They're embarrassed. They're fearful.
Right.
And you're dealing with those issues as well.
Yeah, it's troubling for them because they feel like, well, I should have been able to have done better than this. And they often become the self-victim themselves. We want to thank you for joining us, Dr. Marion, geriatric care manager and author of Eldercare, Made Easier. Dr. Marion's 10 tips for helping you to care for an aging loved one. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Our information is on our website, cn8.tv/your morning. Gwen, over to you.